Yo! Yeah, I did, but this song's too good. One more song. Bussos. Woo! Yeah! Here's up, Adian. How you doing, dude? Early to the stream. Welcome. The beat goes on and round. The beat goes round and around. Never really got there. Come on and let it out. 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 For you run away from me. Before you're lost between the nose. As you take the mic. As you dance, dance, dance. Ooh! God, I love this song. Wish away nightmare, wish away nightmare. You got a light, you can feel it on your back, and a light, you can feel it on your back. Jigsaw falling into place. Ah. Ba ba ba. God damn. Man, I haven't listened to Radiohead for a while. Good fucking evening, morning, evening, afternoon. I messed up the order a little bit. Peepos. Hello, hello. How you guys are doing today? Oh shit. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Lucas, Saints Flow, and Hadian, and everyone else who's lurking in the chat. How you guys doing today? It is Friday, my dude. I had Gov. What? Till Puggy? No. What do you mean? What do you imply that? Nope. Yeah, get back to the usual music. That was nice. That was nice. A good old Radiohead always works. How you guys doing today, chat? Welcome, welcome. Damn, 15 minutes intro. My B, my B. A little bit late as well, than usual. I actually almost passed out. After work, I was just like, I ate some food, and I was like chilling out, uh, taking a break, lay down on the bed, and I almost passed out for like 10, 15 minutes. Oh my, I was like, oh my god, it's Friday, not too early. Oh my god. And I'm here. Oh shit. All good. How about you? I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Chilling. Chilly dilly. A little bit tired from work, but it is what it is. Whoa! 007 with the follow. Thank you so much. Appreciate much love. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome indeed. Yeah, look at this wallpaper that I just found. Isn't it beautiful? Too bad it's like very bright, but like, might as well. It's kind of cozy. I like the art style as well. Oh my god. Hold up. I forgot to feed my cat. 1 second. 1 second. Oh my god. What? This is urgent. 1 second. When you get that wallpaper, where? Oh, wait, 1 second, 1 second. Let me feed my cat real quick. Alright, I'm back. Alright, I just noticed. I was like, what is that noise? And I heard something scratching my door. It's the cat. Whew. Alright, we're good, we're good. The wallpaper, 1 second. Share it to you. Chat. Boom. There you go. Isn't it awesome? Such beautiful wallpaper, isn't it? Let me see if I can find the artist. I swear I followed the artist on. Oh yeah, I knew it. The original artist is Hitoi Mim. Boom. There you go. I followed them on Twitter. Really, really beautiful art style. 100% recommended. Yeah, they're on Pixif as well. Such an awesome Marcel. The line art's so fucking bold. Like not like literally bold, like you know what I mean. Ice Cube's too big. Pull up. So pin. Um, um. I don't want to continue this. Oh shit. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear my friends next door, yeah? I think it's playing, I don't know. I don't know what they're playing. But he's screaming for the past couple hours now. Been screaming around. He's probably playing some competitive game or some shit. Probably Valorant. Or Dota. I don't know. Friends, huh? Yeah. The dude who lives next door is always is my friend. Ah, fuck. He showed up on stream before when I used to play Valorant on stream. A little bit here and there. Sure they aren't getting robbed? I hope not. Don't worry. It's a common thing. It's actually a common thing. Friends are temporary, Ubisoft is eternal. Not for a long time. If you know what I mean. There we go. Ubisoft are planning to sell their shit. Didn't you guys remember? They're going away. They're going away, man. I'm sorry. Listen, Saints, if you need a job, alright, listen. The Trap House Co-op Corporation are still looking for mods. Alright? Mods and yeah, mods. There's a lot of toilet that you can clean in the building. Mm-hmm. And you can try to sign up. How to digital art? I don't know, man. There's a very diverse. There's a question with a very diverse answers. Gotta stage as different CEOs, Medg. was kind of. For some reason, I know how to draw on paper, but not on digital. Yes, because honestly, it actually requires a different skill set. A little bit, not entirely. I would say drawing on digital is harder for it's harder in technicality, but it's easier in some other stuff. It makes it easier if you can get over the process. Cause you know, especially if you're using a normal graphic tablet like me, when you draw, you don't really look at where your pen or pencil is going. You look at the monitor while your hand's drawing on the table. It's a very weird process at first. It took me like a good couple months until I can get really comfortable. So, you know, just do it. You'll eventually get it. You just need to get comfortable. Comfortable. Managing for me. Fuck me. Ooh. 嗯 Honestly, the problem for me is how different my style changes from paper to digital. How long have you been doing the digital one? Because that's also, it can kind of somewhat contribute. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. 3 months? Hmm. Well, you're getting there. You're getting there. You gotta keep going. I believe. If I can do it, you can do it too. Believe in the process, and you shall make it. Shit. Mr. Trap, can I borrow one of your cocks? Huh? No. Never. Never. Actually. I remember I also struggled when I started as well, which was like, what, 2015? It was like a couple of years ago already. It was a long time, but it was also frustrating because it was like, what the fuck? This is not fun. Because you know you cannot draw as good as you can on paper. Shit, especially for the first time, which is normal. Everyone's go through that. You just kind of have to like keep doing it, push through it. Because I swear, it is worth it, my dude. It is worth it. Yeah. Mm. Kind of want to do some sketch requests. Maybe we can do that. We just do this real quick. This angle is so annoying. Mm. Up, guys, it's time to roll a joint and smoke at the park. Let's go. Oh, shit. The park. The way to go, huh? Yeah, man. You though. Yes, sir. How you guys doing? Zay and Nell. What's up, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck with this drawing. Hmm. Good, I guess. How about you, my prince? I am good, my dude. I am good. Thank you for asking. What's up, Hayne? Welcome. How you doing? They only have tobacco here. That's not even enough to knock me out. My body has grown to adapt it. Oh, shit. I mean... I mean... And it depends on the country. Yeah, true. Joints also, not available here. Right, your voice made my cat climb on the cupboard and scream. The fuck? Okay, that's so random. A damn not corrupted country that has propaganda banning cigs but still allows cigs to be sold massively. Same goes for CBD and the products. They're harder to find. Ah, yes. Cook. No cock. No cock. No cook. Cigs. Cigs. It turned out into a whole different meme. Okay. This is some Sketcho Requesto. Woo! The most weighted the most requested segment on the stream. Whoa. I'm gonna put this girls over here. I guess can still admire the art. There. Guess up here. Wait, hold up. Testing something. Okay. This. There we go. Perfect. Oi, bruv, you think that's boy funny, eh? Bruv. Oi, bruv. Oi! What are you guys talking about, eh? Only talk about booba or cock. What? No, wait. Reverse. Just booba. Just booba, please. Please, just booba. No cock, please. Beep, 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 beep. Hold up. I need some. I'm looking around real quick. Poggy. Hi, Poggy. I talk about your mom. Good one. I'm gonna cook your mom. Right. Okay, chat. Okay, okay. Sketch request time. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Let's go through some of the cues. We got. Jesus Christ. Uh. Um. Uh. I need to contact once in. I swear to God, this don't redeem properly. Oh my God. Listen, chat. When you request a sketch request, you type it in the box as you redeem it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys. Do you guys want to see something? Hmm. Oh my God, what are these requests, man? La, 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 la. Do you guys want to see? Listen, some Yuri is already this, by the way. I'm a draw more Yuri. Don't worry. Do you guys want to see something edgy, or do you guys want to see something elegant? I'll let you guys decide because this one requested at the same time or at the same day, so I can start with either. Elegant postal. Okay, what? Postal 4. Postal 4 is edgy. That's too elegant, too edgy. Hmm. What if I combine? Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh. Ooh, okay, I got some ideas. All right. This could be interesting. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Gotta change the music though. Way too chill. Way too chill. Not Uga. Uge. Ogayu. Oga. Yeah, that's different. It's very sketchy. I like this. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we always experiment. We don't experiment, we don't have fun. Ogre you? You just insulted me? Huh? Ogre you. Ogre you. Yeah, I miss watching Shrek. Dude, Shrek is like one of the best movie ever. Like, no joke. I actually used to watch it multiple times back then. You know? Am I the only one? Shrek was on HBO yesterday? Nice. I actually don't have HBO here, but nice. Wait, you guys actually still watch TV? Actually, I forgot when the last time I watched TV. I think Shrek is fine. Dude, Shrek is especially the first one. Oh man. The first one was fine. Like hella fine. My dad saves his $1,000 a smart TV. Ooh. I guess smart TV is like, it's whatever. That counts. But do you guys like watch like the TV channel stuff? Like, is that still a thing? Or do you guys just use your TV to watch YouTube or something like that? Because I have a TV, that's probably what I would do. I guess movie, I guess, sure. If I have a TV, I probably would watch movies more. This cartoon or news? Oh yes, dude. Oh, watching cartoons on the TV when it airs at the perfect time. SpongeBob SquarePants, bro, that's my shit. Are you ready, kids? Whoa! What cable subscription? True. That fake cable subs outdated scam. Actually, I don't really use my flat screen. Then again, I mean, TVs nowadays are not that expensive. Now that I think about it. uh, internet bill is already enough. True. Wait, how much is your internet bill? How much do you guys pay for internet every month? I'm actually kind of curious because I'm pretty sure that's vastly different. Depends on where you live. My currency 150 to 200. How much is that in USD? Roughly converted. 30 100 speed on both and upload with TV and house phone. Holy shit. For my current shitty internet, my landlord have to pay for $80, dude. And for reference, my download speed is 10 megabits per second. I know, I know. It's fucking rough here. Fucking rough out here. And no one really do anything about it because it's fucking capitalism. Yeah. Myself. But yeah. I see on the move. On average, 15 a month, 100 USD. So yeah. Okay, you also 100 plus. That's a lot of money. Jesus fucking Christ. But did you get decent internet at least? Because that's kind of fucked, man. Not gonna lie. Hundred mega. Fuck. It's just me, huh? Mm. In your side. So all I want is you. After all this time, to what the fuck? I get the best deal then. $100 month for 500 mega. What the fuck? How are you guys getting so much speed, man? Jesus Christ. Southeast Asia's fucking dog shit with internet. So all I want is you. After all this time, baby, what do you think you do? And I'm so on fire. I thought I was getting good at closing joys, but this last one sucked. You just gotta roll, man. You just gotta roll. But you know what I'm good at? other than rolling join, rolling your mom last night. Oh! Why am I like this? Why my mom? Why not me? Wait, what? Huh? Whoa! Oh shit, I forgot to check your message.
Sorry, Red Trap the streamer, but I got your mom last night.
Oh my god, Obama just got my mom last night. No! Fuck! God damn it! Hmm. Fuck, man. How you doing, Sin? Thank you for the 200s. Hello, hello. How you doing? Don't really like the hair. Change it up a little bit. Was it worth it, Mr. Obama? Oh, God. Fucking Obama, man. Better pass out, but I bring Obama. What? Huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. Right now, let's draw the costume. Backtracking, but around $50 a month just for below 50 megabyte per second is bullshit. So I paid $60 for 10. I heard you found Rhea. Milf Rhea? Okay, listen. Oh boy. I'm not alright. Listen, chat. It's is it counts as MILF though? I mean, I guess. I, I mean, it's the closest thing I can find. The avatar that looks like Rhea. Like, I wish I could customize it a little bit more, and we could get like a VR chat stream. But the problem is that it kind of looks like Rhea a little bit, but then you know you know how Rhea have like hoodie, right? Like this, right? Then bada bing, and then bada boom, right? Like this. This avatar is like this. Woom, a woom, a wham, and then this is like a wham, wham. And I was like, can I like, you know, I wish I could change the hoodie a little bit, but there's not a lot of option. But yeah, it's something like that. It looks pretty good though. Not gonna lie, especially the eyes. Oh my god, the eyes really good. Really, really nice. Horny children. Listen, I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. I almost forgot that we're doing a sketch request right now. With me. Cast away with me. Mr. Cock, do you remember what I wanted instead of your mom sketch? No. Can you specify it? Okay. Boom. Oh, okay. For the arm a little bit. That. Something like this. Away with me forever. Away with me. There you go. I should probably draw her, huh? Just to kind of show you guys the idea. It's actually a pretty good avatar. I'm not gonna lie. Check DM on Insta. 1 second. Mm-hmm. 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 away with me. Get it. Ooh, okay, okay. Oh, the hair's too bold. Mm. Actually, like if you guys seen my earliest Rhea design, the V-neck was actually very deep, like very deep. Cause I don't know, I just really like I don't know. Like back then, I guess some of you guys probably have seen it. Back then, I used to have like an OC that like just like an old OC, right? Where the hoodie design was like basically something like this. It's like bam and bam, boom, boom. So yeah, something like this. Like it's just some very weird hoodie design. Yeah, something like this. It was very, I don't know. I feel like I combined hoodie with what do you call that? You know those dress that kind of hanging over the shoulder but not really. You know? Yeah, I love the right one though. Can I have more? You guys got to see a lot more of Raid and Katie. Don't worry. They're my OC for a good reason. All right, don't worry. You're not gonna see the last of them. Do not worry. This is actually nice. I might just draw this. Okay. Oh. God, I'm so horny. Nice. As I'm heading to the park, see you guys soon. All right, Zay, have a good one, man. Take care. Mm, 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 mm. Mhm, 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 mhm. Oh, right. Hold up. Give me a sec. Pizza. By 99 dB. What? Pizza? What is this?
Hi, I would like to commission 100 pages doujin comic of this Yuri couple here, binoculars, cock smile.
Whoa! That's ambitious. Hello! What's up, Pseudo? How you doing? Welcome. Pseudo, I've seen it. Pseudo, I've seen it. Ah, boy. Boy, yeah. Welcome. Cocteau. Mm. How does anatomy works? Oh, one Sin's going to sleep. Okay, good night, Sin. Have a good one. Sleep tight, my dude. Okay, that's too deep. This looks cool. It's a little bit crooked. Oh no. Fingers! What do fingers chat? Okay, that sounds wrong. Holy shit. Never mind, don't answer. Uh. Okay, order display.
You want us to show them to you? What? Show what? Wait, what were we talking about again? You're as good as drawing fingers as Uwe Boll at making movies. Who's Uwe Bolls? Wait, no, he made Postal Movie. God bless that man. Oh, okay, never mind. Postal has a movie. It's kind of like a scuffed movie. But yeah, there is. Ooh. This Far Cry movie wasn't that bad. Wait, Far Cry has a movie? Now that I don't know. Wait, what is Coconut Song? But also make the Blood Red movie and Boops. What I do know is that your mom was great. Oh! I get it. Oh! Mm. Yo, you know what? It's actually not a bad fingers at all. I could do better with the thumb, but it actually doesn't look half bad. Probably because of the reference. The reference also have a pretty close up. Probably. I'll take those fingers. Okay, you gotta go past me first. Alright, calm down. Calm down! a bit long, maybe I just have small fingers. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. It's probably because it's compared to this. All up. Yeah. Nice call out. Candice Bellman. That you gave me for I see. Oh, I got you and all got me. Come with me, and would you fall asleep? 'Cause you're all I see. This is evergreen. Oh, come with me, and don't you fall asleep. 'Cause you're all I see. Oh, this is evergreen. Oh, 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 oh my god. You should just refer to this. Yep. Yeah, fuck it. We'll deal with that. As long as you don't have smoke cock like red. Whoa! What is this? Quad bolt you assume? Motherfucker. Fall asleep. 'Cause you're all I see. This is evergreen. Oh, come with me. Don't you fall asleep. 'Cause you're all I see. This is evergreen. Oh, 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 $20,000 in my. Okay, for some reason I cannot really draw the collarbone on this one. I guess because I draw it so deep initially. Really, really. My idea of elegant is not this, but oh. It's like Frank Ocean. Kind of sounds like Frank Ocean. I think I fucked up the anatomy. Fuck! Yeah, I fucked up the anatomy. Boom, boom, boom. Boo, 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 boo. $20,000 in my bang bang. Like Frank Ocean, but more energetic. Yeah, the rhythm is very Frank. Frank's songs are so nice, dude. I used to get addicted to his songs that I used to loop on repeat. Okay. Uh, now let me see. Booba. And the avatar is really nice, actually. Okay, let me try to draw it. Because why not? Give it a try. Just get the urge to do it. Oh boy.
As you can see, art is Rad's way to express his masculine urge to wear a skirt programming.
Ah, yes. Programming. Jesus. Okay, this one's humongous. You guys have no idea. Oh my god. How am I even gonna draw this one? I'll make sense of it. But yeah, the the real one is pretty. Ooh. Mhm. Dung dung dung. Just get in touch when you want to. Say bad job. Something about your love. Something about your love. Mm. I need to stop doing peace sign. Then again, in VR chat, it's like one of the emote you can do. Should probably do something else. Something about your love. Something about your love. Something about your love. The unimaginable mesh. Oh shit, Valorant song. Maybe. This is so dumb. You can't get what you want from me. Can't eat nothing that contains me. Take heart. Red, do you know that one song of Ocean which started with slow his well it starts slow with his vocal going high, can you feel? Can you feel? I know that he got like some really good song. Like the reason I got introduced to Frank Ocean was his live project. Was it Endless? Hold up. One of the song in that performance so fucking good, but it's not available in Spotify. Yeah. It's part of Endless. Uh, is that on Spotify? Hold up. Frank Ocean Endless. Yeah, it's not right. At least not official. Hold up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it not available on Spotify? Fuck. Um, there is an audio only release, but I think it's not on Spotify. Shit. Unluko. All right, let me try something. Gonna change the mixing. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Pretty little lies. Another one. At your best was good. It was really good, but it's not it. No, I'm kind of curious as well. Hold up. Don't worry. We'll find it. No. Ah, fuck. Ooh. That's a jammer. No. 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 Oh, oh, woo. It's not it though. No. No. Not this one. Oh, or you're talking about Look at Us? Oh, At Your Best. Mine's not At Your Best then. Shit. Hold up, hold up. I'm kind of curious now. Uh, I know I saved the song somewhere. One second. Chotto matte ne. This one, I forgot the name. Was this part of the Endless? What I feel, what I feel. It's so loud. Alright. Oh! Oh, this. Oh my god, this is a throwback. I don't know what this one's called, but I love this song. I love this song so much. The melody. Ooh. Woo. Oh my. Mm. Ooh. Woo. Woo. I'm supposed to keep my head up. I'm supposed to know directions. Oh. Now and I say, oh my god. Woo! Now and I say, outside. This very smooth melody. I love it so much. Boom, boom. Ugh. Bum. If any of you guys can find the name of this one, oh my god, dude. Because I don't know what this one's called. Hey, hey, hey. Ooh. I like how her Twitch icon is wobbling. Wait, what do you mean? My Twitch icon is wobbling? Why is it wobbling? Oh, fucking love that song. Oh, Jesus Christ, my ear. So loud. Oh, this one's good. Woo! Hmm? No. God damn, dude. Jesus. With you. His voice, man. Oof. Right here with you. Listen to real man's music. What is that? Hold up, hold up. I'm jamming right now. Woo! Could it be this love? Deeper, deeper, deeper now. Oh, God. Stay here with you. Da, da, da. Woo! Stay here with you. Oh my God. I fucking love his voice. Holy shit. That's crazy. Holy shit. How can I stay here with you? Dude, I need to. I remember I used to try to replicate this guitar sound that he got. It's so nice, dude. I need to replicate it again. It's like so smooth. Segs. Mm. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bum. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bum-ba-bum. Oh, it's already over? Okay, enough of that. What is this? Ooh, ooh. Oh, oh, yeah. Hey. Ah. Oh. Ah. Hmm. I like how we can hear his breath between. Jeez. We discovered the song from that game, that parkour B-hop game, right? Ah, good time. Good time. Good time. Beep beep boop boop ooh ooh beep beep boop beep beep ooh beep beep boop beep boop boop. Okay, this song's actually good. All right, let me actually continue this drawing. No idea. Ooh. Uh 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 uh. And I have no idea. I'm back. Welcome back. What did you think of my DM? You got the talent to become a metal vocalist. Yes. That's right. That's right, man. You got it. I don't know about wanting to suck my cock, but, you know, apart from that, you got the talent. Yeah. Damn right, man. Damn right. Oh, is this Dong Please song? I think it is. Alright, get ready, chat. Ooh. Not loud enough. Grand MacDonald kind of thing? Huh? Who's Grand MacDonald? Grant. Grant? Grant? I actually don't know. But I have no idea. Oh, it's that guy. 18 Naked Cowboys. I remember. Never know his name. Ed Ram Ranch. Has an interesting lore? He have a lore? The fuck? Was he Dark Souls? Dark Souls boss? What's his lore? What's his story with him? Can't believe I'm actually drawing this. God. His family worked in a big bang called MacDonald. His dad fought against the Nazi on Normandy to Berlin. Huh? The fuck? Never heard of that. Did he like actually talked about it? The fuck? That's actually interesting. He sued an oil company that secretly funded the Nazi $1 billion diss track. You can check on Slop Shack YouTube. Interesting. Ah. An actual lore. 18 naked cowboys. I remember. It's a classic meme. I think I learned that meme from Forsen. Of course I learned it from Forsen. Who else? Forsen. Oh. Oh shit, it's been 2 hours already. I just realized. Boobus. Yeah, man, you guys asked for it, then, you know, here we are. Mm. I got some croissant with me right now. From the bakery. So good. Oh shit, eagle. The chat here ready. Sorry. Chat, number one rule of watching Rat Trap is to never watch me on a loudspeaker. Alright? Also, what's up, you? How you doing? Welcome. Like an eagle gonna fly. I'm good. Low bad coming back from office. Forget how it feels going to and from office. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, you just got back? Oh my god. It's pretty late, dude. Unlucky man. At least this weekend. In the sky, what the tail's gonna fly. When see you when you have right. How's your suggestive drawing? Will there be another in the frame? What do you mean? Oh, in this drawing? Nah, this one's a solo. Because I'm using my own reference on this one. So I told Chad that I recently, well, well, not really, kind of told, but like, I got exposed. And I'm just kind of drawing the avatar that I found. Yeah, it was really good though. I really like it. Yeah. Dude, what is this, Witcher? Oh, God hack. Oh my god. For a second I thought it was gonna be The Witcher. Oh my god, boomer anime. Oh my god. It sounds so good. Dude, okay, that's probably one of the best finger that I draw. I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit. God damn! Did he just leveled up? What's up, boy? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Good, need a recharge? Well, welcome. Always welcome to chill out and stay. That's what she said. Oh my god. Yourself and Astolfo. Ooh. Okay, I got a sketch extra on this one. Pull up. You guys want to see the reference? The reference probably looks better than this. I'm trying my best, but goddamn, this avatar is really hard to draw. Because I only took a selfie while I'm using it. And angle is pretty challenging, you have to say. I'll just do this. Hey, stop taking pictures. Oh my god, Indonesian song. What? Dong, 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 dong. How do you draw a folded cloth? I guess that works. Let's try. I have problems with angles? Don't tell your Asian dad. Oh my god. Good one. Okay, I might take a little bit too much details there. Not sure how to draw this one. Drawing hands from this perspective is always hard. It's probably one of the most challenging angles. So you want to make it look like extends instead of like long arms. Saying taking pics. Whoa! 4K! I don't know, dude. That drawing, this fucking arms looks too scuffed. right now. So hard. All right. Moments of truth. Let's see how close it is to the reference. Okay. Oh my god. I gotta go have a go on everyone. Alright, Lucas. Boom. Wait, what? Oh my god, the drawing is so small. Boom. Okay, the eyes, very fucking huge. And the listen, I might downplay some parts, but you know, different art style, man. Different art style. Also, I'm not a big fan of the ears, so I kind of like change it up a little bit. But other than that, the arm is really annoying. I'm not really sure how to do that one. Hmm. Oh, the eyes. Hold up. Maybe the left side. We never go. We're trapped in Rat's chat. What? Actually, true. Real and true. Ah, I forgot about the color. The color. Uh, but other than that, gotta be honest, it's actually not bad. It's probably the closest thing we ever get to Rhea. Alright, so give me a break. It's probably closest thing. Kinda happy. Okay, maybe Cardi. Hey. Not about. I'm gonna sleep. Goodbye, Radu and Chato. Alright, dude. Have a good sleep, man. Thanks for stopping by. Good night. Ooh, nani nani. Oh wait, not yet. Thank you, Radu, for showing that you're a Frank Ocean enjoyer. Yes, sir. I'm an enjoyer of quality. Pure art. And that's what Frank says. Or Ocean, I guess. It's actually rare to find a fellow Frank Ocean enjoyer. There's a lot of people who listen to some of his song, but like not a lot of people are actually like a fan of him. Buddy, new beginning. By the way, Rat, why do I have a dang badge? Because you are a 1.5 year subscriber. Long-term support, always appreciated. Oh my god. Goes back to this. Every day, shit. Night, shit. Day. All my life. All... Just you are one of the victim that trapped in the chat. Jesus Christ, I gotta touch some grass. Listen, there's some grass here as well. Don't worry. Virtual grass. Oh, dude, I just realized something. I could draw her in a yukata style instead. Bruh. Dude. I just missed an opportunity. No. Every night, shit. Every day, shit. Every night, every night. Ooh. Ooh. Oh shit. Hold on. Mm. Mm. Nope. Nah. Nope. 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 Sure.
Turn around and leave me just so you can come home.
Huh? Wait, what? Oh my god. Okay, it's getting pretty late. I think we could switch to gaming. Me too. Oh, we can do some React Andy first. So if you guys got any videos that you want me to check it out, link it in the chat. Link it up, link it up. I'll be there for you. I'll be for you. I'll be. There. Hands on you. Running, running just to get my hands on you. Eating pizza? Ooh! What's the topping? What you got? What you got? Baby, 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 my baby. Okay, maybe that. Oh shit. Right there. Right there. Oh, the sky. Woo! Oh, it's a jammer. Rider of the sky. Oh, baby. Beep, 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 beep. On the air, riders on the sky, dancing to the beat the sky. Rider the sky, rider sky. Oh, dude. Oh, shit. Mozzarella. I forgot. Oh, I forgot. I was planning to buy some mozzarella and some veggies. Rider on the sky. Baby, rider on the sky. Alright, on the sky. I forgår, haha. Skull. Survive. Touch my feet and I feel the air. Rider sun sky. Out of the be there. Rise on the sky. Be there. Rider on the sky. Survive. Oh shit, I forgot to bring. Chat, hydrate. Oh my god. Sarah. Where did I put it? Another trap? Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean by another trap? But hey, what's up? Can't fool me. Hello, the True Void Reaver. Holy shit, you got a cool name. Don't get fooled by the trap. Okay. What do you mean? Ah. Well. Oh my god. Should I shade this first? If I could do some shading here. We've been doing this for a bit too long now. How you been? I'm chilling. Not much, not much. Just drawing and all that kind of stuff. How about you guys? How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Oh my god. Da, 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 da. Mm. Rhea selfie, yep. I actually use the avatar as the reference, and it actually works pretty well. It looks like the pose is very natural because of it. Doing good, just beat up a furry. What? Are you talking about fucking what's his name again? About to clap those cheeks of yours. Whoa. Be gentle, please. What? Ooh, Rikes up. Hmm. Oh, I just realized something. First slave doesn't show up here. Dumb. Bum, bum, bum. God damn! Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I really like how I do the hair in this one. I rarely nail drawing hairs and a little bit more details, but still manage the tidiness. This is actually pretty nice. We need to take more reference with that avatar. It's so good with Rhea. It fits so well. Holy shit. Sup y'all, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the stream. How you doing, dude? Oh, Jesus. Become a Void Reaver? Huh? Kill 15 furries and take their fur and put it in a fire. Jesus Christ. Alright, calm down. Jesus Christ. Edge much? I'm an anti-furry stan. Well, I'm a G-Min stan. Opar G-Min. How about that? Jimin and Jungkook. Best Opar. Is that their name, right? Jungkook? I don't know, dude. I think I got it right. Here she comes again. Holy shit, Lay's made a cheese and cayenne-ish chips. What the fuck is cayenne? 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 Tastes exactly like my favorite jalapeno and cheese, but more spicy. Why the fuck do you have Lay's with such an extreme flavors? Never had that. Will it cause global conflict? Furries on Deviant. What the fuck? Okay. Alright, you gotta chill before I start, you know, clicking the hammers, alright? Void. Last warning, my dude. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're lucky one since already go to sleep. Oh, you don't want to see him around. Oh. Uh Why? Okay, I think I'm done with this one. Mm. Yeah, I think I'm done. I do. Go to war against the first if I can keep Blythe for research purposes. Okay, why just Blythe? How about, what's his name again? I forgot his name. Never mind. Alright, never mind. I forgot his name. It's too many of them. I definitely downgraded the booba a little bit. But other than that, it's actually pretty nice. It's actually not bad at all. Alright, dude. You gotta, alright, yeah, okay. Alright, man. You need to chill out, alright? I'll see you in an hour. Take care. Oh my god. If I could color this, but it might take a while if I do this now.